It's been a while since I last wrote about my spiritual experiences. I only plan on writing about true events, so please bear with me. It takes a lot out of me to relive these nightmares and remember details I've tried to forget. I've loved horror movies since I was a small child. Scary ghosts, haunted houses, transforming werewolves, blood-sucking vampires, I love it all. My mom explained a long time ago how scary movies were made to look so realistic, and I was instantly obsessed. These creatively disturbed people brought to life a whole new reality made of their dreams and nightmares. After all these years, I used to think something was off. Why would I, as a young child, adore such gruesome scenes? I think, now, as selfish as it is to admit, I find comfort in knowing I'm not the only one who has seen these monsters. The things we imagine must come from somewhere, right? Could decades of slasher movies and horror shows influence my nightmares? Sure. But the problem is, I haven't found a direct correlation. When I watch these movies, I don't have nightmares. I only have nightmares when I don't watch werewolves morphing and vampires stalking prey. And I never dream of the monsters I see on screen. No, my mind gets creative and terrifies me with its own brand of horror. So, here we go again. It's summer 2024, just a couple of weeks ago. A beautiful, boring day as usual. The trees are budding, the flowers sway in the breeze, and frogs and crickets chirp a symphony. The hot sun is finally setting on these blue Kentucky hills. A moment of solitude passes before boredom quickly takes over my mind. May as well go back inside and go to bed, I thought, as my feet moved my restless body towards the house. I open our front door, once white but now covered in muck and dirt. Just like my life, something that was once so light and free is now masked in grit and grime. I'll get to it eventually, I lie to myself, knowing it's a pretty lie. I'd normally change into pajamas, but that's all I wear anymore, so I'm already dressed for bed. I go through our nightly routine, get the kids ready for bed, pick up the house, and let the dog outside. Finally, I lay down to rest. As if I haven't laid in the house all day, doing nothing more than resting. Normally, I'd feel peaceful, soft clouds encase me as the Sandman sprinkles the finest sand in my eyes, transitioning my mind to the dream world. Recently, it's a different story. Staring at the ceiling has turned into a nightly sport. See how long I can stare into nothing before my mind shuts up and lets me rest. Crowded thoughts and words clutter my brain, rendering my consciousness vague and foggy. Eventually, the overcrowding becomes too much, and I distance myself just enough to escape into sleep. As soon as my eyelids droop, I close them and drift off. I'm in a house. It's unfamiliar yet familiar. I know I haven't been here before, but why do I feel so comfortable? The peeling blue paint on the uneven walls, white trim stained with dirt, and cheap, thin carpet that felt like concrete. This room is a mess, too. There's so much on the floor, toys, books, furniture, all covered in cobwebs. I'm standing in the middle of it all, completely content. I don't know where I am, nor do I care. This feels like home. I know it isn't, but this overwhelming, welcoming feeling is too hard to fight, and I've already given in. Unable to question my complacency, I find myself walking towards the light switch, turning it off to go to bed. I somehow knew I went through the house and turned the lights off, which is why every room was dark but the blue room I was in. How did I know that? It was like I woke up in the middle of a movie I've seen 100 times. I knew what I had done and what to do next. I walk carefully through the maze of dusty treasures on the floor and turn off the light, ignoring the blue paint chips that scatter as I place my hand on the wall. Beside the light switch was a white door, just like the one at home, caked in filth. I knew this door wasn't to the driveway like at home, it was to another room. Another room with deep, blood-red walls, one square window with cheap blinds, and nothing else. No furniture, toys, books, mess, or treasure. Just a light-colored wooden floor that looked as if it hadn't cradled one loving item. I opened the grungy door, stick my hand inside, and turn the light off. As soon as the light went dark, the room went black, all except for the shadow in front of the window. It was like an inverted shadow, everything dark except what would have been a shadow cast by the sun shining through the window. That part was almost luminous, with the corners of the room draped in darkness. You knew better. Turn the light back on now. Who was that? Who said that? No sooner than those words crossed my mind, I realize I'm alone. That warning sank into my soul, grabbing every atom of happiness and drowning it. I was completely frozen, unable to move, speak, or blink. I can't even get my chest to expand and contract. How am I breathing? My heart. I can feel my heart. Wait, this shouldn't be painful. Every beat of my heart pounded so hard, it felt like it was hitting my chest bone, trying to break through. The slow beats turned to panicked, murderous thumps that cracked through my spine. Breathe, you need to breathe. Before I could focus on my dying body, out of the corner of my eye, I see a large black figure start to slither my way. As I stood in the doorway, fear overcame every cell of my body, and my body refused to retreat. I've always been a fighter, even in my dreams. Worst case, I'll run away. I understand the fight or flight scenario and have used both without shame. This was something I've never experienced. I'm not just stuck in this old house, I'm stuck in this exact spot between two different worlds, the comforting world from minutes ago and the world in front of me, made of some starving stomach. It crept slowly, building suspense before the big reveal. I just stood there, unable to heed the warning, unable to defend my life. All I could do was wait and watch. No more than 3 steps were taken before the lights flipped back on. Although I am still glued in place, I can finally see the dark shadow that was inching towards me. It's my oldest daughter. It had her beautiful dark blonde hair, her searing blue/green eyes, and her cute, pouty lips, but those lips were wrapped around a set of sharp, jagged teeth. And her smile. Oh, that smile. It was a smile that sat high on her cheeks, showing every serrated tooth. It moved differently, trying to mock her natural movements, but could only do so in bursts, then get stuck and have to reorient. Despite its best efforts, I knew this wasn't my child. The energy was wrong. It was chillingly cold, unnaturally cold. Mommy? What's wrong? It's me, your baby. Mommy? It kept screaming, repeating the same few words in my daughter's sweet voice. But that smile did not move. Those teeth did not speak. It was biting down so hard, I could hear its teeth grind as it shifted its sharp jaw. Saliva ran down those teeth onto my daughter's chin, dripping in perfect teardrops. Mommy, are you okay? What's wrong? It's me. It's Harper. It kept insisting that I fall for this facade, but I refused. I know my daughter, and this thing was not her. I'm still frozen in the coldest, most unwelcoming fear I've ever felt. My body is still refusing to let any muscles move, and this thing is still coming towards me. Please, God, please. Let me out of here. Take me out. Take me out. Take me out. I pleaded. I pleaded so loud, I could no longer hear the false promises that this thing spouted. Closer and closer and closer. It wasn't going to stop, and I was helpless. It kept coming until it suddenly stopped. Now, face to face with me, searing that smile like a badge of honor, eating my torment, making it obvious that it's never tasted something so scrumptious, it just stares at me, inches from my face, just staring with those fiery eyes, and smiling. Please, God. Please. I felt one last time as it slowly started to move again, reaching its hand out to me, reaching for my face. Those couple of seconds felt like hours, waiting for it to take me, knowing I couldn't stop it. I just had to accept it. This was it. I can't get out of this one. It's one. Just then, just millimeters from touching me, I was jolted awake like a shotgun had been aimed at my chest and released. Waking up in a panic, sweat running down my face, as well as tears. What had just happened? Am I okay? Where did IT go? I look at the clock, it's 3 a.m. Of course. Of course. I try to calm down, take deep breaths, and relax. Not working. I turn my phone on and start skimming through meaningless TikToks, trying to calm my nerves before my mind drifts back to that room. Finally, I rest again. It takes days for my mind to accept reality. This wasn't real, right? I find myself once again drifting back to my daughter, watching her every move to make sure she's the one I love. The one who keeps me sane. She is. That thing was not her, nor will it ever be. Was this just a simple nightmare, or was I being warned? I still don't know. Maybe I never will.